Third stimulus check update, related stimulus package news and dates. What's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are doing very well today. And we're back again with another stimulus package and related news update video. And I know it's an early one, but I wanted to make sure I got you guys these updates as soon as possible. And each and every day, we're actually moving closer and closer to seeing that stimulus package happen. Now, I gotta say this because recent reports are all pointing that way. And today, I'm gonna share these reports with you guys. I'm gonna give you some details on both White House officials and President Biden's aspirations to negotiate the contents of the $1.9 trillion economic relief package and the next round of stimulus checks just to reach bipartisan support, as well as to what extent they're willing to negotiate the terms of the stimulus package. And if, for instance, Republicans decide not to move forward with the adoption of the proposal, exactly what measures the Democrats are prepared to take to ensure that this plan actually gets approved by Congress. And finally, we also have a date on how soon we can actually expect the stimulus package to be rolled out. So, we'll be learning all about all of these different things in just a little bit. But of course, before we start, I just want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And for those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, investing, how to generate multiple streams of income. And of course, we have stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. We just crossed 250,000 subscribers in our community just yesterday. So I'm super excited to have all of you guys in my community. Join us, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get right into this, right? All right, so yesterday, CNBC published a report where President Joe Biden's top economic advisor, Brian Deese, talked about how the White House is open to negotiations on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And Deese's comments came as the president's American Rescue Plan faced significant criticisms from a bipartisan group of lawmakers hoping to reduce the proposal's price tag. Now, obviously, you can already tell from the fact that they're trying to reduce the price tag. This came from the Republicans, but now their idea is that they could even pass it in parts or even just tighten the requirements for another round of stimulus checks. Now, what they're saying here is that the $1.9 trillion budget for this proposal is just too big. And we've heard this before. And a package this huge will also beg the question of, whether it will be a smart move to actually pass this plan, or would the risk of pushing for this package outweigh its benefits? Now, remember, from the start, we had the Biden administration. They've always been aiming to pass the proposal through bipartisan backing. They could just kind of strong arm it, but that's really not Biden's MO. So just to ensure that they will both gain support from both of the parties, Republicans and the Democrats, Brian Deese said that they are ready to discuss the value of the direct relief payments that are included in the bill, among other things. So, they're open for negotiations, and that's the only way that this is going to work if Biden is going to be successful in making this a bipartisan approval of this package, right? He also went on to say, certainly, if there are ways to make that provision and other provisions more effective, that's something we're open to, that we'll have conversations about. So obviously they'll be having more concessions on this in the coming days. There's going to be some back and forth, hopefully not too much of it, but much like the Zoom call that they had just a few days back where they actually share their concerns and their suggestions. And for me, it's all good, as long as it doesn't take too long and they actually reach an agreement on the terms of the relief package, I guess it's going to be fine, right? As long as they ultimately take care of the people, they get the stimulus checks out without wasting too much more time. I mean, it's already been a while, but if you notice, I think they are definitely moving faster on this time around. And through these discussions, there could even come up with some better ideas to potentially include in this proposal. You know me, I'm staying very optimistic, guys. Good things can happen. Now, Brian Deese wasn't the only one from the White House to talk about this. Even though Democrats hold the majority of the Senate seats, you've got President Biden himself, who has still expressed his willingness to exchange his views and to consult with Republicans, when it comes to the value and the inclusions of this economic package. He's really working on bipartisanship. So, I gotta respect him for that. In all honesty, I gotta respect him for that. Obviously, I want to get stimulus checks out to the people as quickly as possible, but I respect what he's trying to do here. And as a matter of fact, he was actually the first to give hints at this. Brian Deese just confirmed that it's true that they're open to negotiations, but it was actually the president who first suggested them. And he transparently expressed his willingness to negotiate. Because if you remember, just last Monday, reports came saying that the president would consider curbing eligibility for the checks if it could secure some Republican support in Congress. So it really just shows that they want to make this stimulus plan happen. Even if it could mean revising some parts of the plan, obviously those details will come in the future, but as long as it secures bipartisan support, they would be willing to do it. And the president always mentions unity. He's always about unity, bipartisanship. And for months now, he's actually actually been naming the COVID-19 and emergency relief his topmost priority. And to further show his willingness to negotiate, President Biden also said in a news conference, well, there's legitimate reason for people to say, do you have the lines drawn the exact way? Should it go to anybody making over X number of dollars, or why? I'm open to negotiate these things. So I guess Republicans could now start listing their concerns on this particular relief package, because, the White House is open for suggestions. Biden's holding up to what he said he was going to do. He was looking for unity. He was looking for bipartisanship. He did say $2,000 stimulus check, so I kind of feel like he dropped the ball there, but he's at least working on the unity part. But let me know what you guys think on this one. Drop me a comment down below. Do you guys think Biden's pretty much doing what he said he was going to do? Do you think he kind of dropped the ball a little bit? Do you think that his plan has changed a little bit on the people? Do you feel like there was any kind of bait and switch? I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. And beyond that, there's actually going to be enough time to discuss all of these different negotiations once the concessions begin. Because right now we're hearing that this whole process could actually go for a couple of weeks. And if there's a way to speed things up, while securing bipartisan support, I hope they'll go for it. And I think we've waited a long enough time, for Congress to pass this package. But as of the moment, that's all the information that we have. That's just about how far from now we can expect this negotiation to come to an end. So we have to wait and see if this timeline would actually deliver. But let me just tell you guys that this can change anytime. Why? Because Democrats still have a way to force the passage of this $1.9 trillion stimulus plan. It's almost kind of like, a situation where you're as a parent, you're negotiating with your kid. Hey, you want them to do something, but ultimately you could just kind of strong arm them into doing what you want them to do, but you're trying to get them to buy in. I feel like that is pretty much where we are with this stimulus package. Now, I'm talking about the reconciliation process, right? Just yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that the Democrats may kickstart this process as soon as next week. That is if, by that time, they still can't see enough Republican support for President Biden's emergency spending package. Now, you might be thinking, what would they get from doing that, right? Well, let me explain this to you guys. Using this tactic would allow Democrats to pass any proposal unilaterally. And what I mean by this is that they can now pass a stimulus package with only 51 votes, a simple majority. So all in all, they no longer need to ask for Republican backing at all, and they can simply just avoid the whole 60-vote supermajority required to be able to pass most legislation. Now, as for us, on the other hand, if Republicans don't cooperate with the negotiations with President Biden, then this could mean that we might not have to wait for a couple more weeks just to see the adoption of the stimulus plan. Now, if this is to happen, passing this particular proposal is actually going to be a walk in the park. So I think what the Republicans need to do once the negotiations start is to just simply express their concerns, suggest what they think could be improved in the stimulus package. Don't just say, I don't like it. Actually offer some suggestions, right? But also try to compromise. Because now it seems like, participating in these concessions is their only shot at actually having a say in this proposal. So, at the end of the day, Democrats still have the upper hand on this, and they can pretty much take control away from the Republicans if they feel like they have to. And in fact, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he says, we want to work with our Republican colleagues to advance this legislation in a bipartisan way. But the work must move forward, preferably with our Republican colleagues, but without them if we must. Time is of the essence. So that pretty much sums it up. I do hope that the reconciliation process won't be necessary because, let's be real. It's not always good for just one party to have full control in political matters. You want, equal, feedback from both sides. But if that's what it takes to be able to give people the relief that they need to get through this particular pandemic in a timely manner, then so be it, right? But of course, if you guys disagree, if you guys support me, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. But right now, that's all I've got for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. It's really nice to know that we could be seeing the stimulus package in just a few weeks from now. And at this point, with all the information that we have, I can say that it is highly likely for this to happen. But as always, we'll definitely see about that. Now, if you made it up to this point, I would really appreciate it if you just go ahead and tap that like button, make it turn blue. I think I earned it from you guys. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe to my channel. I drop stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates on a daily basis, so make sure that you are a part of that. And also tap the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. And also join the rest of us, the thousands of us who have already checked out Matter's amazing content. You should see a big M above my head right now. They have the most amazing, mind-blowing content. Check out their channel, subscribe, watch their videos, enjoy it, binge watch it like we do, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.